Hello Smart Movers and welcome to Smart Move Insider, a place where we talk about fitness from within. My name is Sergio alongside head coach Bart, and today we're going to talk about supplements. In most of my discussions with people, after we talk about nutrition, they often ask about, do you take anything, like any supplements? This is already huge industry and it's already everywhere around us. It's in every commercial that I see. Take this vitamin, take this supplement, you will feel this or you will feel that. So let's dive right in. What is your perspective on supplements, my friend?
Like you say, it's a very big business. I checked it online. So, for example, in Europe, it's a 40 billion a year type of business. So, for me, when I hear that to begin with, I'm already getting skeptical because where so much money is to be made, for sure, some of the things are gonna be too good to be true. I read a study online that, for example, they did a check of 60 products, and 40% of them didn't even have the ingredients that are on the bottle in there. The problem apparently with this industry is that it's not so checked. For example, in the pharmaceuticals, they do a trial, they check, and then it comes on the market. Here, in this industry, they just put it on the market, and maybe 50-50 they get checked along the way somewhere. So you might not get what you're paying for.
So it's much about placebo.
Yeah, I think so.
It's making you believe that this is the result it will bring, and if you believe it,
it's a true thing, a placebo. If you believe hard enough in something, you'll feel some kind of a difference. So that's why some people that analyze supplements say that if there is a 10 to 15% difference in health or performance, then we can say it's not placebo effect anymore.
Yeah. So it's a $40 billion industry.
40 billion a year, each year, of products getting sold in this health performance type of...
This is a business opportunity, my friend. I didn't know it's so big. We should start a supplement company.
Hey, Matt Fraser also started it. There's a reason for it. There's a lot of money to be made. Yeah. But you need to be a bit skeptical, and you should do your research, because certain supplements that we will talk about today, they have been researched a lot. So they did so many studies on it that you can kind of be pretty sure that it's going to do something. But on some, you will see that there are not too many studies, and it's not proven that it's going to do something. Doesn't mean you cannot try it. Just trial and error on yourself. I, for example, use a site called examine.com, and there you can type in any supplement that you want to research. You're going to find research papers on it. You're going to find details, the potential side effects, what it does, how much should you take from it, and I think it's a good source. Well, the best source I found in the last years that kind of gathers anything that has to do with supplements. So perhaps we can put it in the show notes.
Yeah, definitely. For example, when I need to search about supplements, I ask friends around recommendations, but now is the first time I hear about this site. This is really handy when you need a certain information about a certain product that you hear about, especially international ones, because there are big brands, big marketing behind them. It's a good way to check it.
Especially, well, like I said, 40 billions a year, there is a reason for that, because we're living in a society where people really want to believe that a pill will make them fit. If it sounds too good to be true, usually it is. And that brings us to cover your bases. If you didn't get a hang of your nutrition, like we talked about in the last episode in detail, if you didn't get that balanced out, if you didn't get a bit of a hang on your sleep to get at least 7 hours a night, you don't need to be thinking about supplements. For me, supplements, if we imagine a pyramid, the nutrition and the sleep is the bottom of the pyramid. The supplements are like the top of the pyramid, the cherry on the pie. It's something, after everything else is okay, then maybe you can think about supplements.
You want to make a short summary of, in big lines, what's a good nutrition?
So like we talked about in the last episode, there are different styles of eating, but just to get a bit of a general view, the 80-20% rule as a reminder to you guys, you find a style of eating, and 80% of the time you try to stick to it, eat clean between brackets, and 20% of the time you eat what you want. So that's a bit of a balance. How that will look like, well, most of the time all styles end up with choose natural products. Maybe it will be fasting that you choose, maybe it will be paleo, maybe another style, but choose natural products, eat your vegetables, eat your fruits, meats, fish, nuts, seeds, etc. But find balance. So when you get that covered, and then when you get day to day 7 hours of sleep, that's what we're aiming for. There are some apps, you also use one, right? I just said 7 hours as a general thing of to get. What does your app say you should get?
I use the Whoop band, and if you ask me, this is the best sleep measurement product. It also measures effort, but I know that it's not so accurate. It sometimes tells me that after a walk, I'm like after 30 minutes Metcon, and I know that's not true. That's impossible. You don't feel the same. So this actually knows when you fall asleep, how deep you sleep, and how much did you recover. And I used to think that I sleep 8 hours if I put myself to bed at 12 and I wake up at 8. But from those 8 hours, that's time in bed, I usually sleep around 6:30 to 7 hours. And that means that if I want to get 8 hours of sleep, I need to put myself in bed at 11 and stay until 8 to have a bit of a buffer. And even like that, sometimes you have irregular sleep and you will wake up too many times at night and you will ruin that. So you need to take care of the sleep hygiene first, and then to see how much and how deep you can sleep. But yeah, definitely you need something to measure it.
So you would recommend the Whoop?
I would recommend it for sleep. Yeah, it's definitely as long as you don't rely completely on it. For example, you slept good, but it says that you slept poorly. You shouldn't feel bad because it says that. Sometimes you sleep bad and it says you're good. So you need to balance it out. Don't be app sensitive.
A slave to the data.
Yeah, don't be a slave to the data. Try to find the balance, like you said.
I have a Garmin, and it also gives me, I don't look at it every day, but once in a while I look at it to see, okay, how's the sleeping going and stuff like that. But yeah, also on effort, if I should believe the watch, every time I go hard in a Metcon, I need to rest for 2 days. So yeah.
I thought a bit about it. What is this different, this Whoop band from the watch? Because I would like to have a watch here, but they're so strongly saying that they will not ever put a watch on it.
Yeah.
This app versus the watches, as far as I know, because I just had an Apple watch. It has the support behind it. So basically, in that app, you will find ways to improve your scores, courses, meditation, challenges, and stuff like that you can work on the weak points that you have. And you, after it will know you after a month or two, it will definitely guide you towards getting a better hang of your deep sleep, on your effort, strain. So
that's nice. So it doesn't just measure; it also tells you. It gives you solutions.
Yeah, but you need to be really geek out into it because it's very broad. I don't like it that much to go that deep into something, but I see people online like crazy fanatical about it. And now just Cristiano Ronaldo signed with them, so it's getting bigger and bigger.
The Whoop cult.
Yeah, so let's get back to the supplements.
Yeah. You remember back in the days, if your mother said to take protein, what she thought supplements were?
I remember at 16, the first time I bought Animal Pack. At 16, I was doing bodybuilding, and I bought the Animal Pack. And the Animal Pack, if you remember, I think they still have it now.
Yellow
Animal
brand.
Pack has like 13 pills.
Yeah.
Big ones, small ones, and different. And my mom once found something like that, and she said, "What fucking steroids do you taking?" So my parents think that supplements are steroids, and I think a lot of their generation knows exactly the same thing. And of course they brought it into the kids, so many of our age, they for sure think that this is bad for your health because it's steroids.
Okay. So, but it's not, right?
No, fuck shit, no.
It's just to enhance performance different. Or to enhance health, or that's what we're gonna be talking about today.
Steroids are not nutritional supplements. Steroids are enhanced anorganic something, because I researched a bit. So it's a different breed.
Performance enhancement drugs.
Yeah. It's on the
synthetic.
The growth hormone
Mm-hmm.
side. So no, nothing like that. Supplements is vitamins, proteins, light stuff. Let's say
Yeah.
it's the things that athletes can take without being busted by the drug companies.
Yeah,
that
it's not
make
on the
testes.
list of forbidden products. It gives you benefits in training and in health, but it's not doping. It wouldn't be considered in a competition as you're doing something wrong.
Exactly. So let's get back a bit. Why wouldn't you recommend somebody who has a disastrous nutrition to take supplements?
Because you need to understand that you're not gonna supplement your way to fitness. So the main thing you should change is the food. So you should rely first on the food. A lot of these supplements, as we're gonna talk about, is also you can get them out of the food. Like for example protein, you can get that all via food. But if like me, you have to eat 3,500 calories a day, it's not always easy to get to my protein needs just relying on the food.
And 200 grams of protein.
Yeah, and I'm all 220 grams of protein, so I can get a 40 grams of protein in by drinking a protein shake. But I'm relying on the food first, but I supplement the food with supplements to get to, in this case, to my protein needs. So cover the bases first. You can get a lot of benefit first fixing that, and the sleep. And because sometimes people tell me that they want to take a supplement because they don't feel so good. Okay, but then we need to analyze a bit on the food and the sleep. What are you doing there? If it's not optimal there, if you fix that, you're gonna feel better. Standard, and then we'll see about the supplements.
So they want to take something because they feel tired or
For
not
example,
having the
yeah.
urge to train?
Yeah, for example, I'm feeling tired, I don't feel recovered, I want to take protein, I want to take magnesium to help me recover, but then you hear that they're eating bad choices in food and they're sleeping 5 hours a night. Of course you're feeling under-recovered. That's why you're feeling under-recovered, because you don't sleep enough and you don't eat well to help your body recover. The supplements aren't going to do everything for you. But this is also the reason why it's a 40 billion a year business, because people want to believe that they can take a shortcut.
Because it sells you the idea that this is magic.
It is, yeah, and it's not, because it will give you just 5%, 10% of change. It won't, the other 90% is going to come from the sleep and the food for your recovery and performance purposes. So,
Okay, so let's talk about what do you take at this moment and why?
I have an entire list.
Let's go through it.
You want to go through it one by one?
However
Or you want me to give you the lists first and then we go back to the top?
However you feel comfortable.
Let's start with the first one, whey protein. So like I said a couple of minutes ago, whey protein is just part of my nutrition plan. I am in need for my height and for my body weight to a certain amount of calories a day, a certain amount of protein a day. You can also listen back to our previous episode where I talk about it in detail. And to get to I'm over 100 kilos, to get to at least 2 or 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, I need a little bit of help, because I'm already eating 3 meals a day, and then on top I add the protein shake and maybe another snack, and like that I can get to my total amount of protein a day. And I do that because I want to build muscle and I want to recover between trainings well. That's why I want to up my protein intake. And the whey protein is a way that helps me do it. I usually drink it before my workout. I add a banana to it as well, so it gives me some carbs as well, so it gives me a bit of energy. So it helps me feel okay to go into the workout. Maybe the ones listening will not react to it so well. It's a trial and error thing. It does not upset my stomach to drink a protein shake and then to do a hard metcon about 30 minutes later. But maybe for you it does. So it's a bit of trial and error. I don't think there is a right or a wrong way. Some people drink it after their metcon or after their workout. So What do you do it? How do you do it?
I usually take it in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had nothing for such a long period. So now after 10 years, I started again taking some protein because I got a bit more hang of the nutrition part. So now I make myself porridge each morning. So I boil it, put some porridge in, and then I put the protein and a banana. Sometimes some nuts, sometimes some frozen berries, but I kind of do it almost every morning now. And so far so good. I'm feeling good, not a bit bloated. So yeah, it's feeling different.
See, so for you it's also just part of your daily calorie and protein intake. And in your case, you're taking it as a breakfast. So for me, I take it close to the workout.
I want to
Works either way.
Yeah, I take it because I want to up my protein a bit. So usually I'm way under my 160 mark that I need to have. So having that in the morning adds a 30 or 40 grams of protein somewhere over there. And I want to start taking monohydrate creatine. This is also something that I'm looking forward to try and see if everything is good. I'm saying this because I have a sensitive stomach. So whenever I change something in my nutrition, I don't feel that good. So if I have sleepiness or if I'm getting bloated, I know it's from something new that I got in because usually I eat the same stuff and I'm not wild on nutrition.
Yeah, it's the smart approach, and just add in one change and then just see how it goes on. Don't start, if you're at the end of this podcast, you heard us talk about 6 supplements, don't start taking them all at once. Start with one, see how your body reacts to it, add the other one, see how your body reacts to it. Otherwise, you won't know what it is actually that you're reacting to, good or bad.
Yep.
So yeah, creatine monohydrate is also one that I take daily. This is actually one of the most studied ones on the market. So there are many studies, and it's proven that this does make a change for a majority of people. The main benefit is it increases strength and endurance, especially in high intensity workouts. So it's kind of perfect for CrossFitters. It works by giving the muscles extra energy, so you will be able to go harder and longer before the lactic acid builds up. And because you can go harder and longer, you might build more muscle, more endurance. So as a conclusion of taking the creatine and being able to train a bit harder.
When I was doing bodybuilding back in time, I knew that, and everybody was telling me that creatine is holding water and you will get buff and big and puffy. Isn't this the case anymore?
Depends. It's one of the... Did that happen to you when you took it?
I have no idea. My nutrition was crap. I was eating like a 16-year-old. I was eating 5 times a day.
Yeah, and then it depends what, because maybe you can also have
I was
water
eating
retention
that.
from the food, from the stuff you're eating in the food. So it's hard to say until you dial in your food, and then you can put the creatine on top, and then you can actually say the creatine is bloating me.
Back in the day, I was thinking that calories are calories. Doesn't matter which kinds of calories. So I was eating anything.
When you look at the studies online, some of them say that creatine might hold some water retention in the beginning when you take it, but there is not too much proof that on the long run that creatine retains water. So I would say people have to try it. Usually the protocol for taking creatine is a week of overloading it, 25 grams per day. And then from week 2 you go to lower doses, 3 to 5, maybe in my case, maybe 7 a day, because I'm above 100 kilos, because it would make sense, right? If somebody from 70 kilos or somebody that weighs 105, then maybe the dose will be a bit higher for the heavier guy. So maybe in that loading phase, I can imagine that maybe you hold some water retention. But I've also heard online in a podcast about DNA that there are people that within their DNA, you have people that are hyper responders to creatine, and you have people that don't react to that extent. So some people, you see very big visible difference, because they say it can be up to 15% of increase in performance. So if you're a hyper responder, 15% is high.
Yeah.
So imagine if all of a sudden instead of 100 kilos you do 110, it's a big response, or you really start adding muscle. But some people, they don't respond to it so well. I'm actually interested in taking one of these DNA tests because I'm just out of curiosity to see on what things do I respond well and on what things that I don't respond well. And they also check a little bit if you more fast twitch fiber or slow twitch fiber, and they give you some advices. So maybe in a future podcast I might talk about the results of that one. But I'm curious. But it's definitely one I would take also because it's not just about performance. So some studies also say that it will help with brain function and with recovery. So no matter if you do sports or not, I think it should be one that you should still take, because if it helps your brain function and your memory and stuff like that, it's for pure health purpose. You also find creatine in meats and fish, but I would supplement on it the minimum dose, 3 to 5 grams a day, just to be sure. If it helps, it helps. It's also not that expensive, so you won't feel it in your wallet that much. I would go for it, but especially because it's proven that it will make a difference.
I'm a bit skeptical about taking everything you need from the food. Our quality of food is not that high. Only if you can take it from grass-fed meat, or you have some friend with livada.
Yeah, on the countryside, if you can get them grass-fed and they weren't full of hormones and antibiotics and stuff. Yeah, I know. Definitely, if we're gonna analyze our food and what we buy in the supermarket, that's another, I bet, trillion business where, like I said on the supplements, if there is so much money to be made, something shady is going on. And the same in the food industry, and the same in the pharmaceutical industry. So yeah, it's another discussion there. But yeah, if you're gonna overthink, then we should all go live on the countryside, have our own chickens, slaughter one pig every so many times, one cow a year, and then only then we will be sure. We'll see what it will give in the future, all this bullshit meat that we're eating.
Consumerism. So what else? Protein, creatine.
Omega-3 I also take. So this is purely for inflammation. So the body from training, it gets
Fish oil,
inflamed.
right?
Fish oil, yeah, omega-3 fish oil, yeah, that's
You
what I
have a
mean.
favorite brand you take?
Not really. I play around a bit with it. Depends. I've bought recently most of my supplements from a company called Go Primal. The advertising got me. Grass-fed. The
Grass-fed fish.
no grass-fed cows. That's where their whey protein comes from. And then on the site, I just bought the rest also, their omega-3 and all their other stuff. So yeah, it's okay. I cannot say that I've taken an omega-3 that I felt zero on. I do feel it because I'm not on it all year long. Sometimes to remind myself if I actually feel something, I go off of it, of everything, of all the supplements for 1-2 months, then go back on it and then see, do I now feel different in my joints and in my muscle recovery in comparison to the 2 months where I wasn't on?
You know, once I stopped taking fish oil and my wrist, both of them starts aching. And I was like, oh, that's fast.
Yeah.
So it was like crazy.
It was directly a reminder, like, okay, apparently does something.
Yes.
Yeah, next to that, it's also beneficial for gut and immune system health. It says that it could help improve mood, not to an extent I read online that it would help you out of depression, but it should help also with mood apparently. Helps also with sleep and with bone health. So sounds all good stuff to me, but I'm more taking it for just general inflammation, just to help recover from training to training. That brings me also to the following one. It's a joint care pack from that brand that you talked about, Animal, and I think it's called Animal Pack Joint Care Pack. And it's a little bag with, I think, about 8 or 10 different pills in it. And it's all to help your joints recover, restore, and stuff like that. So it's all about inflammation and to get rid of the soreness in ligaments and joints. And the main ingredients on the package is something called chondroitin and glucosamine. Glucosamine for sure sounds familiar because anything that has to do with joints, it's glucosamine in there. So the one helps prevent the cartilage from breaking down and stimulates also the cartilage to repair itself. And the other one helps make the chemical that helps the body build tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. So it's all about ligaments and cartilage and health. And I must say, if I'm on it, everything does feel better. The wrists, the knees, just the elbows. So the things that usually from just lifting heavy weights and doing volume that sometimes is a bit achy. So this one, I just take it year long throughout because I went on and off of it so many times that I feel a difference when I'm on it. So I just feel better from training to training, and that's the reason I also take supplements, just to enhance life, enhance the feeling in training, enhance health where possible. Have you ever taken, besides omega-3, anything else joint-wise?
Yes, I took also what you just said, fish oil. This is also the CrossFit recommended supplement.
Yeah, the only one I think.
Only.
Because they don't recommend anything. Because if you ask them about whey protein, just get it from the food.
In the CrossFit book, you just have nutrition and fish oil.
Yeah.
And that's it. You need to have nutrition control, the zone, paleo. This is what they are recommending. And then for the joints, you need to have a bit of a fish oil. What I usually take is vitamin D3. That's for sunlight. So I don't get that much sunlight. Only I see it from the window outside, it's sunny. I try to walk more, and I manage to walk some more longer distances, especially in the morning, because that's the latest studies show that you should get some sunlight first 15 minutes that you wake up, ideally. And after vitamin D3, I took magnesium and zinc. It was a complex.
Oh, yeah.
I used to have cramps, so my calves were cramping when I had too much workout, let's say.
In the night.
Yes,
One of
in the
those
night.
fun ones that you wake up with the cramp already.
So whenever I had that, I just took magnesium and zinc. And as you just said, you went all year long with this one. I'm usually going 6 to 9 months, and then I have in a break. For example, I want to have my body fully protected in the colder season, like from September I'm start taking it, and then I'm going until May, June, because in May, June I'm mostly trying to be outside and sun sees me, and I think everything runs smoother when it's a bit warmer. In the winter I'm with vitamin C and everything.
Maybe that's also part placebo. It's winter, I need to
Of
protect
course.
myself.
Of course. But I wouldn't have it if a doctor wouldn't have prescribed me to. But I used to have a very, very low immune system. And I used, my parents were making me like different substances mixed together with honey and with like old fashioned. And they were giving to me when I was younger to get stronger. But yeah.
The grandma's recipes that
Grandma's
have been worked
recipes,
for
exactly.
years, and they say, just give it a try. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I have the next one, caffeine. You're a coffee drinker?
Yes. I like coffee a lot.
So caffeine is a performance enhancer. It enhances focus, and it also lowers apparently the perception of feeling tiredness. That's why on purpose they say the perception. But no matter what, if I have the perception that I'm not so tired, I'll just work harder. So even if it's placebo, it's still beneficial. The only downside to it is that you build a tolerance to it. So if you want the benefits as a performance enhancer of caffeine, you should drink the caffeine close to your workout. But that then also means if I'm in the habit of drinking 3 cups of coffee during the day, I'm building a tolerance to it, and then you won't feel it. So imagine I'm gonna go to a competition or something, but I'm a coffee drinker every day. What you could do is I step away from the coffee for a while just to get away from having the tolerance to it, and then I start putting it in again close to my trainings, and then it can actually start working for me again. So for those that are interested in caffeine as a performance enhancement, then look a little bit at your coffee drinking habits at the moment and adjust a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna be way harder.
It's gonna be hard because if you're used to your 2 coffees in the morning,
yeah,
or you need to change your schedule. You from now on you train in the morning, you drink your coffee, you go train, and you're good.
short espresso,
Yeah.
train, then do whatever.
Cyclists do that, espressos during their training sessions because it will give you a boost, and then go cycle again for many kilometers.
Yeah.
So there is one that I also take, and this one is one from Go Primal. It's like a combo, like the one that you had. Magnesium, zinc, and B6, and it's basically to help you sleep better. Helps you sleep better, helps you also recover from the muscle soreness. But the main reason I take it is half an hour before bed. It helps you find easier deep sleep, and it seems to help. It's definitely worth a try.
Whatever can improve your sleep, I'm into it.
I think, like with anything in training and in food, you just need to try. You don't lose anything. Just try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, read the research. Do your own research by trying it. Listen to your friends to see what works for them, and then just try it. There's nothing bad that can happen unless you're exaggerating. But if you just follow what's on the bottle, prescription-wise, nothing is going to go wrong. I know some people they're still skeptical about taking too much pills, but in my opinion, anything that helps you have better quality in how you feel in general, it's something to try.
This is a common misconception. It has its studies, but you need to really look into the good ones, that supplements are ruining your kidneys. I know it's a big market, so it depends on what you take, it's going to lead you to that. If you take too many, if you take the bad ones, if you exaggerate, for sure you will have a kidney condition because it's sensitive, it's your body. But
I've been taking supplements for years, and I cannot say, and I do yearly a blood test and just a doctor's visit, and I cannot say that I have ever felt anything or seen anything on my kidneys.
this is how I base myself also. I don't know nobody from my close circle and bigger circle of friends that have these kidney problems with supplements. So I never heard of it, but I know it exists online. So people are afraid, of course, not to damage their body.
But there are a lot of misconceptions. I've been eating 5 eggs a day for years. There is nothing wrong with my cholesterol. So do your research, listen to the people around you that are also doing it,
I'm sure
and make up your own mind.
I'm sure there are exceptions,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because there are still misconceptions out there based on studies that have been debunked a long time ago, like the squat. You shouldn't squat with your knees over your toes. There are many of these in different fields about supplements, about food, about training. So look a little bit deeper. Don't just read the headline and say, "Oh, now it's a fact." I heard that. That's the famous one. I heard that it damages your kidneys. But did you do any research? Did you did you read anything about it online? No. Somebody said that one sentence and now you take it for truth. So look a little bit farther.
I swear I was just reading about this today, about how fast we get enamored with other people's opinion. Like you said, certain people said that and that got as a fact, and now you believe it. And not believing it is going to be an ego process that you need to push back, so you can hear something else. So in the big picture, you need to be open to try and open to not just think there's only one way to one thing, like control issues.
It's the times. It has to do with lack of patience, and everything needs to go fast. People don't want to research deeper anymore, and then before you know it, certain things become facts apparently, based on who knows what.
And that is your list? This is it?
I have one last one that I've been on and off. It's not one that I take all the time, but it's one worth mentioning, beta-alanine. So beta-alanine is one that you will find in a lot of pre-workouts. It's the one that makes your skin feel a little bit tingly. Some of you maybe have taken pre-workouts, and you get that little bit of a tinglish feeling in your skin and on your ears. That's the beta-alanine kicking in. The main benefits of beta-alanine, it's that it increases performance, and it's especially beneficial for high-intensity workouts that last between 1 and 10 minutes. So that's where it's going to help you the most. It regulates the lactic acid buildup, and it helps you last longer in your workout. So you can go harder and longer before the lactic acid builds up so much that you need to stop. You know that feeling when you're running, for example, with running, you run, and eventually can't hold that speed because your legs stop working. That's lactic acid building up. So beta-alanine will make that moment where the lactic acid reaches its highest point kicking much later. So especially for CrossFitters, we're doing a lot of high intensity. This can be it can be one that can be interesting to play around with. The way to avoid that tingly feeling, it's a funny one because the tingly feeling, this can be a very easy practical joke. A little bit of beta-alanine powder in somebody's drink and they don't know that it's in there. They drink it, and then after a while they start sweating, because if you don't know it's coming, it's different than if you know I take it and it's going to be normal that my face starts tingling. And you will start seeing them rub their face, rub their ears. I did it to Lore once. And then she didn't know what was happening, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling a bit weird. So it's a funny one to mess around with. Small dosage, of course. Don't want make them panic. I told her so she would calm down that it's normal. So the way to get rid of that feeling is that you could spread it out. So your dosage, take it in multiple times per day and spread it out 2 to 3 hours. So you're more microdosing, but then over the total day you still get the full. I think I can't fully remember because I have pills, but I think it's about 2 grams.
2 to 3 grams, yes.
Yeah, something like that. And you can spread them out, and then you won't have that tingly feeling because the dose isn't so high at once. But it's one to try to play around with, and maybe also for the guys that are going to competition. Creatine, beta-alanine, I would play around with it in my training in the months leading up to competition and see a little bit how I feel on it.
Yes.
You ever try beta-alanine?
Yes, I have. But 2019, somewhere there. Yeah, it was in fashion those days that every athlete should take
every CrossFitter athlete was taking it.
Rich Froning was taking it, so of course we should take it.
If the best are taking it, we should take it. Yeah, so as a summary, there are many supplements on the market. Do your research. Make sure you cover first your food and your sleep before you think about supplementing, because that's why it's called a supplement. It should supplement your good food habits, not replace them. So don't start drinking 3 protein shakes a day and thinking you had a meal. No, eat real food. Do the protein shake as a supplement on top of it. Do your research. Ask your friends. Do some trial and error on yourself. Check the examine.com site to figure out what every supplement does. What dosages you should have, and then one at a time, so you know what works well for you and what doesn't. And it's a bit of a trial and error type of deal.
That's a good summary. Let's go over a few misconceptions.
Okay.
A few myths. Supplements are just for athletes.
No, like I said, whey protein is just already part can be part of a balanced nutrition plan. They're tasty. We can make a smoothie, and it can be a snack. The only difference is that that snack helps you get your protein needs, and no matter if you work out or don't work out, everybody should prioritize holding on to muscle. Like we talked in other episodes, muscle is what's going to keep you independent for a long time. So being aware a bit of your total protein intake is going to be part of holding to that muscle.
It's pretty hard to get to understand that your body has a limited amount of things to offer you when you train, when you work, etc. So you need supplements. I used to think that you don't need nothing because your body will provide, but your body will provide until one point. So if you want to take care of it, like you do in training, like you do in reading and meditating and stuff like that, you need also to give him a few incentives to go further and to go harder. So this is why I think that it's important that not just athletes take it, because it has some side benefits, like you just said, with the brain.
Yeah.
It can improve your functions.
And it helps with inflammation. The ones that we summed up, a lot of them had in common. Helps with inflammations, helps with the joints, the cartilage, helps just general recovery. So that's not beneficial just for athletes. That's beneficial for everybody. Everybody, by just living, and who knows what type of physical job you have, can use some help recovering from the daily tasks. It's not necessarily only from the daily trainings, it's from the daily tasks. I'm helping my body to recover, to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And why not? If it makes you feel better, you should.
Are supplements going to make me bigger? Are they going to turn me into a bodybuilder?
You need calories to get bigger, so that's gonna be mainly food. Like I said, the supplements are just the tip of the iceberg. Everything is gonna be generated by your calorie intake if you get bigger or smaller in the end.
So
And
not.
no.
I wished
I
this
wish
was true.
I wish I could take a pill that just give me 5 kilos of muscle within the next month. That is not steroids, because they do exist, but it's not a supplement. So I wish it was that easy, but it's not that easy. Like we said all the way in the beginning, it doesn't exist, the magic pill. You still need to put in the work, food-wise, recovery-wise, training-wise, if you want certain results from a body composition point of view. So it's not that easy. You need to. There are many factors, and supplements are the least. It will influence the least of the total picture.
That's good. Yeah. So basically, find a balance. Don't take them all at once. Find ones that you like. Find those ones that make you perform better, and don't be yourself misled by the common misconception that they are bad, or they're going to ruin your body, or that you're going to get bigger and buffer. And I know that Dr. Huberman also takes like 15 supplements almost every day.
Yeah, and probably all for performance and health beneficial purposes, right?
And there's a list online that you can go and just Google it, Dr. Huberman top supplements, and you will find the list, and you can research each one of them and why he takes it. And he has also podcasts that he talks about why does he take a few ones. And of course he has his own one and a few sponsored ones, but
of course, because it's much
business.
money to be made there. Doesn't mean that they don't work, but he's just trying to take a part of the pie. Also, Joe Rogan has a list like that, and he has the attitude that whatever improves my life quality, I shall take it.
Exactly. Good, then. I think we covered everything that we thought about talking. So that's it for today. If you have any questions for us, please write them into our email, info@smartmovecrossfit.ro, or shoot us a message on Instagram @smartmovecrossfit. Next time we're going to discuss about CrossFit gear. What do you actually need when you start CrossFit, and what is nice to have? If you want more information about the two of us, you can find our details into the show notes. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.